It's just our Facebook page.
Okay.
It should be live in a second. All right, I think we are good.
Okay. Well, hi everybody, and hi to all of our viewers who might be tuning in live or if you're listening later. This is our Mental Health Monday for Atlas. So we are featuring different topics each month that might be helpful to talk about among our trainers, our team facilitators, and our clients that are relevant to mental health. My name is Sarah Pellizzari. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I volunteer with Atlas, just helping out on the mental health committee. And we've been focusing lately on neurodivergence, and I have a three-part blog series that I've been writing with part two that just came out on the Atlas website for our viewers to maybe go back and take a look at when they would like to. Yes, I'm here, and we've got a little bit of a panel here today. So I think we're just going to go around and maybe introduce ourselves and get acquainted a little bit so that our audience knows a little bit about who we are and what we're doing today. So I don't know if maybe Jennifer, you want to get us started?
Sure. Hi, I'm Jennifer Clark. I am the president and co-founder of Atlas Assistance Dogs, and heavily involved in a lot of our training and operations day to day. I am not a mental health provider, but I do have a psychiatric service dog. Michelle?
Yeah, sorry, I had to unmute myself. My name is Michelle DeRosa. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I volunteer with Atlas as a mental health consultant, as Sarah was talking about, kind of on the mental health side. I previously had a service dog who was trained with and through Atlas, and currently have a tentative service dog in training, pre-service dog in training, with hopes to join back as a client.
Adriana?
Hello. Hi, my name is Adriana. I will speak in Portuguese. So, just because my English is not so good to make this conversation. So here is Rafael. He is my best friend forever, and my translator. Uh, I will speak in blocks, and Rafael will translate it. Ok? Vamos lá, vamos ver se vocês aprendem um pouco de português. Meu nome é Adriana Torres, eu sou da cidade de Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais.
My name is Adriana Torres. I'm from Belo Horizonte City, Minas Gerais State, in Brazil.
Yes. Eu tenho 53 para 54 anos, sou tutora de 9 animais, de 9 pets, e mãe de um adolescente autista de 13 para 14 anos.
I am 53 years old. I have quantos cachorros?
9.
I have
9 pets.
9 pets, among dogs and cats. Some with disabilities, right?
Right.
And I have a son, Leon, who is autistic, and he's 11 years old. No?
13.
13,
13.
Sorry, guys. I'm very bad with numbers, as you can see.
You're
13
doing
years
just
old.
fine.
and that's it.
Eu fui diagnosticada como uma pessoa autista com 46 anos, 5 anos após o diagnóstico do meu próprio filho.
She has been diagnosed as an autistic person herself at 46 years old. 5 years later, then when she had her son.
Como sabemos, no Brasil e no mundo, o diagnóstico das mulheres é muito mais complicado que dos homens. Por isso, é muito mais fácil um diagnóstico tardio ou mesmo uma ausência de diagnóstico.
As you know, the diagnosing women is much harder than than the diagnosis of men. Not harder. It's like qual a palavra que
It's
você
more
usou?
difficult. It's more
Yeah,
difficult. It's more
it's
complex.
it's more complex and do the all the gender bias as well. And que mais você falou?
Podemos. Vamos continuar, porque eu mesmo esqueço o que eu estou falando. Sorry, guys. Mas eu era da área de comunicação, parei de trabalhar no diagnóstico do meu filho e no meu próprio diagnóstico eu retomei o meu trabalho agora buscando o meu hiperfoco, que são os animais. Foi o meu diagnóstico que me levou para me tornar treinadora.
She used to work at a communication department in a big company, but she quit her job when her son was born. And then when he was diagnosed, she started studying and learning, and then when she was diagnosed as well, she started digging more about the topic, and
eu mudei minha trajetória,
yes,
minha carreira.
And today she switched careers because she has a hyper focus on dogs and animals in general. So she thought it would be very useful to as a dog trainer, which she is today.
Awesome. Thank you, Adriana. It's wonderful to have you, and we're so glad you're here. And thank you, Raphael, for being here to translate and to help out too. You're doing an awesome job. I think this is just such an interesting and exciting topic. And when we're talking about, neurodivergence, it's so broad. It encompasses so many different traits, and yes, there are diagnoses that go along with that too. But I think as we're learning, we're kind of finding that, it is it could even be more of the norm than the exception to be neurodivergent because it is so broad. And I think that one thing that we're mentioning too is how far we've come with recognizing neurodivergence and actually having diagnoses, because it could, I think, especially like, for instance, when I was a child, it really wasn't as prevalent to hear about diagnoses like ADHD and autism as much as it is now. And I think for that reason, a lot of adults, especially in my generation, and I'm pretty close to Adriana's generation too, is, we're discovering now that a lot more adults are meeting those diagnostic criteria for autism and ADHD and can finally put a name to some of what their life experiences have been, and which is positive, I think, in some light. And I think it's also kind of it's kind of sad that we've had to go so many years without really being able to know, to put a name to something and to say, hey, this is why I've had some of the experiences that I've had in life, right? And so we're coming full circle as a society, but I think too, there are a lot of misconceptions around neurodivergence, and there's still a lot of progress to be made in terms of acceptance, I think, by the general public and, maybe education, right? And there is a definite lack of understanding maybe from people that aren't neurodivergent and don't really understand that it's not just, these aren't just like personal preferences, like these are actual like ways of processing and ways of being and ways of experiencing. So yeah. So for Atlas, and for our clients and our community, obviously this is twofold. So we have trainers who are involved in working with service dog clients, and we're trying to come up with ways to make the training community neuroaffirming. And then we also have our clients, and we're trying to help them to feel like they're empowered and can have a voice around this as well. So really, this is just kind of an open forum. We have this as a Facebook live talk so that our clients and our team facilitators and trainers can comment as we go along. So if they have anything they'd like to share, any questions they'd like to ask as we're plugging away, I think that Jennifer has the website up and can kind of track and see if we get any comments or questions. But yeah, so I don't know if anyone else wanted to jump in with any thoughts about just this topic in general, or
was going to say, I think the other thing I see a lot with our clients who may have had childhood diagnoses, but were raised under pretty punitive traditional ABA models. They seem pretty consistently there's a lot of anger and there's a lot of pain and there's a lot of frustration and a lot of fear of, well, how am I going to be treated? And of even like kind of sort of, whereas people who are getting new diagnoses, you'd be like, oh, this makes sense now. For them, they're like, well, I've had this held against me my whole life, and it's been something that, was used very punitively my whole life. And so it's hard. I don't feel like I'm excited to be on the neurodivergent bandwagon, or that people will support me. And so we've seen a lot of our clients that have suffered through that. And so it's how to help them is, I think, another important thing to talk about.
Mhm.
Michelle?
Eu sempre fico emocionada ao falar sobre isso, a importância que esse diagnóstico ele pode ter para nós adultos, diante de uma experiência de vida de negação.
She always get emotional when talking about that subject because due the importance of diagnosing people and how this changed their lives.
Eu fui uma garota e sou uma mulher com altas habilidades verbais.
I was a girl and I am a woman with high verbal abilities. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm not using the correct
I think
terms.
it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
E isso mascarou o meu autismo por muitos anos.
And these abilities to speak very well and has overshadowed my autism for many, many, many years. People don't believe she wasn't autistic because she speaks so well and so she's so eloquent.
Eu entendo que o diagnóstico na infância ele pode trazer benefícios e desafios.
She understands that diagnostic in children can be very challenging, but also has great benefits when the children is diagnosed early.
Nós temos terapias que buscam modificar o autista ao invés de oferecer qualidade de vida.
We have therapies that aim to change the autistic person instead of provide more quality of life.
E temos a ideia de que o autista ele não é capaz. Daí vem o termo do capacitismo. E por isso que nós vemos o autista como uma pessoa com deficiência.
And we have this idea that the autistic person is not capable. And this is where I come from the term capacitism. And yes,
Capacitism is a word from Spanish and Portuguese, but I think in English is ablaze.
Mm-hmm.
Ablaze, oh, sorry.
Abilities.
Eu fui uma criança que minha mãe não fazia ideia dos meus desafios e eu tive que enfrentar muita coisa sozinha.
As a child, nobody knows she was autistic, and her mother didn't know, and this was a huge challenge for the family and for her, of course, because she has to overcome lots of challenges by herself, and to know how to do it by herself.
Mas, por outro lado, isso foi bom, porque isso me forçou a buscar habilidades que eu não possuía. E, às vezes, eu vejo que eu protejo muito o meu filho. Minha mãe não fazia isso.
On the other hand, she thinks that this was good because she had to find and to develop her abilities in a way that she's afraid that she doesn't let her son do it because maybe she's overprotect him sometimes, and her mother definitely did not do that for her at all, like some protection at least, right?
Eu, por muitos anos, atuei como ativista pelos direitos humanos, como feminista, ecossocialista, e foi natural que, ao descobrir o diagnóstico do meu filho, antes mesmo do meu, que eu me juntasse ao grupo de ativistas pelo paradigma da neurodiversidade. E foi muita coisa.
Yes, she always she has been always involved in activism in different, like as a feminist, as a eco-socialist. So when she learned about her son, she dived in also in the activism for autistic people, for sorry, qual é o final que você falou, Adri? Não é?
Em prol do paradigma da neurodiversidade, neurodiversity paradigm.
Yes, working with neurodiversity paradigm.
Hoje eu sou secretária-geral da Abraça, que foi a primeira associação brasileira a ter uma presidenta autista e lutar pelos direitos das pessoas autistas aqui.
Today she works for Abraça as a general secretary. Abraça is the first organization in Brazil that fights for autistic people and for their rights. And what else? No? That's it. Sorry.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
great to hear a lot of that background.
Yeah, absolutely. I think something that is echoed through that is the importance of being neuro affirming and like heard and listened to. And, um, when we talk about service dog trainer and service dog handling, I'm reminded of like even on the mental health side. So a lot of my role as a mental health clinician is to make sure that I'm not contributing to practices and considerations that have been harmful for neurodivergent folks. So neuro affirming practices, and that's what the blog article and being the service dog handler, or service dog facilitator or trainer with Alice focuses hard and works really hard to be neuro diverse affirming or neuro affirming. So I wonder, maybe sharing what we find to be neurodiverse affirming could be helpful, because I think we probably all, from various personal lived experiences of being neurodivergent or others, probably have different ideas of what neuro affirming is.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Michelle. And for myself, one prominent way that I feel like it always showed up was, from the time that I was in school, like transitioning into, the working world, is like it was not neurodivergent friendly. And so being, myself being more of like a highly sensitive person, I have a lot of things that are hard for me to filter out and hard for me to, I guess I should say, like regulate through. So I've had to sort of figure out for myself, like, how do you advocate for yourself in a way within the work setting that, I'm able to work like to my full capacity, but also have my needs met and, some of my sensory preferences honored. For instance, I suffered from migraines for a really, really long time, and I didn't make the correlation for the longest time that, the fluorescent lighting in schools and in colleges and in work settings were really triggering my migraines, along with, having a lot of computer time and a lot of screen time added in as that became more common with technology. And so I guess, looking at neurodivergent preferences even and needs there, I think is really important and crucial. So I think that's something that I could speak from like personal experience. It's been really hard to find like places where you can not just fit in but belong, as being like a neurodivergent personality. So
I think an area that I know we've ended up spending a lot of time doing education on, especially the dog trainers who maybe aren't as familiar, is things like stemming. And that there's an old bias of we want to suppress stemming and that it's a distraction, it's not helpful, versus it actually being a very functional coping mechanism for the person. And so it's something we make sure to educate trainers that no, we don't want to teach the dogs to interrupt that behavior necessarily. We may be teaching them to ignore it. It may be, depending on the situation, maybe it's a tick, maybe it's something that we want the person to be alerted to so they're aware it's going on. But really trying to make sure people understand that that's not a bad thing to suppress. It actually can cause a lot of harm by trying to force people to suppress stimming. So that's, I know, one area that I think people that aren't as familiar really don't understand. I don't know your experience with that, Michelle.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I wonder if kind of also pose the question, like, as, trainers, in a world that's more, in the training world is more ableist than we would like for it to be. How can we change that? So when we're thinking about the dog training world in particular, like, how can we make that more neuro-affirming and neuro-friendly? I talked about this a little bit in the blog, but I think there are so many ideas, and I think that us sharing that together might be helpful, and also for some of our community to kind of think about and what their input might be as well.
Eu acredito que um dos pontos mais importantes que nós precisamos falar sempre para os treinadores é que cada autista é um, assim como cada cão é um indivíduo. Susan Friedman falava isso, né? O treino de um cão é o treino de um.
She believes that the most important point that we can share with dog trainers is that what Susan Friedman used to say, that each dog is a dog as each person is a person, and we have to take in consideration the needs of this specific individual and not a general umbrella thing solution.
É muito comum eu ver organizações trazerem um pacote para autista.
It's very common. She sees some organizations to develop like a package for autistic person. Like this is for you. So this work for autistic. This work for blind people. This work for
Kind of like a one
other.
size fits all, which is not
Yes,
realistic
exactly.
for anybody, right? So we
Yeah.
definitely want to be as, I think that's a
E
good point, being as client-centered, individual as possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's a really important to ask of what we could do more to make sure we're neuroaffirming is also understanding the closeness of identity. Someone's identity absolutely is and often is a part of like the autism. It could be part of the diagnosis or like self determination or just self alignment, but that when we use language or the one size fits all, just like you said, the kits, we're essentially saying you are, like either forcing them to say you are, you have to divorce yourself from the identity of autism or neurodivergency, or you have to be this very correct version, whatever version society or maybe harmful practices. So I think it's a newer, I mean, somebody else correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a newer concept, but more spoken about as neurodiversity, a part of identity, which opens up a lot of opportunity
Absolutely.
and support. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you made a good point too with we're talking about language and identity, and that's really becoming more prevalent in our society now is how do we want to identify ourselves and do we want to identify ourselves, with the diagnosis or like how do we want to present that? And everybody, has their own, I think, preferences and opinions. And so that's really important, I think, to stay open to as well.
I think it's a really good point of recognizing that for some people, being neurodivergent, they're going to consider a disability, and some they're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are many diagnoses that might fall under that umbrella. But it's important to respect how that person views it.
Como ativista pelos direitos das pessoas com deficiência, no Brasil, nós temos como base legal a Convenção Internacional sobre os Direitos das Pessoas com Deficiência. Ela foi aprovada no Brasil com o mesmo status de uma norma constitucional. Você consegue traduzir isso, Rafael?
Vamos aos poucos. Yes. As an activism.
Como ativista.
As an activism for people with disabilities.
Eu defendo, no Brasil, nós temos a base legal, que é a Convenção sobre os Direitos das Pessoas com Deficiência. Né?
She's
Convenção Internacional.
She support the International Convention for Disability People in Brazil. which has
Que tem-
the same status as a law.
E na convenção, o que é a deficiência? A deficiência é o resultado da interação daquele indivíduo com as barreiras que existem no ambiente e impedem ele de acessar os seus direitos.
This convention states that what is disability? Disability is the
Result.
yes, is the result of oh God, sorry,
I know where Adriana is going. Result of where society and what society puts on the person.
yes, it's
Then
sorry, I completely forgot the word.
É,
It's the wait, I have to search. Sorry, guys.
procura.
Sure, okay. No
Okay.
worries.
the social model of disability is what you're talking
We
about, right,
are
Adriana?
people. Yes, we are people with
Oh yes,
disabilities
environment.
Uh-huh.
because the environment.
Disability is what the environment is not prepared for people with disability. So it's not the persons with disability fault. It's the environment that is it's very tough for the. It's built in a way that it just doesn't work for those people, right? So it's not that these people are not able. It's
Então,
just
quando a pessoa diz eu não sou uma pessoa com deficiência, seja ela autista, seja ela surda, algumas pessoas surdas não aceitam também, na verdade, ela não entende o conceito da deficiência pelo modelo social de deficiência. Entendeu?
when someone says it's not that the person says that he or she is not disabled and don't accept that his or her disability is that the person don't understand the social concept
Disabilities model.
of the yes.
Disability is not our fault. Disability, it's a result. I don't know how I say encontro in English, but it's how I say encontro. É o encontro da pessoa com as barreiras.
It's when the person meets those barriers, those walls, and é o encontro.
Então, a deficiência é o resultado desse encontro da pessoa.
Okay. The disability is the result of this moment when the person hits these barriers, like it's not, and then she's not able to trespass.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's really profound when we think about it that way too. You know, it's like if the barriers were not there, if we didn't have the environmental barriers that we have, you know, is it really disability, or is it just, you know, our lack of capability to have an environment where everybody's able to thrive, right? Everybody's able to not just try to adapt and not just be masking, but to be able to live to their full potential. So I think that's a really powerful way to think about this.
I think about the systems, as we were just talking about, the systems that they're created in a neurotypical environment that could even trickle down to dog training expectations and timeliness or logs or I say all the time to my clients, like, you're living life on hard mode sometimes, a lot of times when the system that we live in is not neurodivergent. It wasn't built with neurodivergent folks in mind. So if we think about how to make our processes neurodivergent friendly or neurodivergent affirming, how tightly do we abide by rules or systems in places that were never neurodivergent friendly to begin with? So I think about like eye contact, demanding a certain rigid way, but versus somebody might actually really prefer direct, rigid communication. So very individual, but those are some things that come to my mind is systems that are in place that we might accidentally perpetuate because we don't know another way maybe to have metrics or outcomes, if that makes sense.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
systems in place that promote efficiency
Yeah.
and are focused on some way of having things go through kind of the masses versus looking at, okay, what is the best for that individual, even if that's a little more work and, isn't as clean and tidy and convenient for everybody else.
É por isso que eu digo que um bom treinador de cães de assistência, principalmente, deve entender mais de gente do que de cachorro.
That's why she always says that a good dog trainer, especially for assistance dogs, has to understand more of people than of dogs.
That is very, very true. That the service dog trainers are not, you hear the adage that people become dog trainers because they don't like to work with people. That is absolutely not true for service dog trainers. The dogs are easy. We need to be a lot more flexible to work with people.
And I think too, what we're getting at is, the flexible thinking is important and also the open conversation, right? We can't make assumptions that, maybe for one person, like the efficiency model is great. Maybe they thrive on structure, but maybe for the next person who is neurodivergent as well, like they need something more flexible than that. So really asking questions and having open conversation. And I think as trainers, like showing a lot of curiosity, and flexibility, I think goes a long way. So one thing that we're kind of posing to our community too is like, how can we do that? Like, how can we have, conversations between clients and trainers, so that we're really making things client-centered rather than making assumptions.
And that can be as simple as, for example, we've seen cases where in the world of clicker training, we can emphasize how important it is to have that click right at the exact right time and how actually immobilizing that can be for clients who may not have the dexterity or may have trouble hearing the sound, or may have trouble juggling everything.
Yeah.
That we can inadvertently put those kind of, without realizing it, saying, oh, you have to have your treat timing just perfect. And you have to have your click just perfect. That some of those things that we think are helpful actually can become big barriers for people psychologically to even try.
Yeah.
And I think service dog trainers, they tend to be more adaptable and flexible because that's more inherent in service dog training. But I think one thing that we lose sight of is sometimes, the environments and the things around us that are maybe not as flexible or not as neuroaffirming, rather than just the training techniques. Because yes, there's a lot of focus on that and how we can change different things while we're actually training together. But when we think about our environment, and I wrote a little bit about this in the second blog that just got posted on the Atlas website, is, thinking about things like surfaces and lighting and, noise and space, proximity between people, things like that, that maybe we're not giving as much thought to. I know, when in agencies, when they do like, client placement and they do service dog training placement, it's usually groups, right? It's groups of people and dogs. It's usually not like one person and their dog. And I think with Atlas, we're very fortunate that it is, we can really focus on like one person, that person's need and the needs of their dog, and like really make this kind of a unique experience for each person. So even thinking broader to like our training environment, I think is important too. And we're thinking of things like tests, like public access tests. I feel
Yeah.
like that's a whole other, like, wow, there are so many things like within this test that, are kind of, do they have to be rigid, or are there ways that we can be flexible within the test and still be able to say like this dog and has passed the test, they're absolutely capable of being a service dog, but maybe the environments and things that we're asking like in that test, are sometimes things that we need to look at differently too.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. I really appreciate in the blog where you mentioned the biofeedback and relaxation protocol by Karen Overall. I love that. And I love that protocol so much. And I think it's so, so, so important no matter, there's so many in the umbrella of neurodiversity. There's just so many qualities that and like aspects of a spectrum of neurodiversity, but one unifying principle would be the body, the nervous regulation system, how to center back to present here and now, slowing down, even if it's very overwhelming because they're in public access in a very busy mall, or if we're getting caught in the weeds of like maybe those don't bother you, but very rigid on, you know, expectations, and like that's a cool model for them. It's okay to be efficient, but like they're very, somebody might be really stuck in a efficiency. They're I really like how you put special attention to the biofeedback piece and the calming the nervous system. And as you're talking about training, even what I have found and what I wish I would have done more in the past is cut in that time into my time outside in like training, the first 10 minutes or whenever I'm noticing feeling overwhelmed, to go into that calming space, like in a public access setting too.
Yeah, and that idea did not come from me. It came from one of our trainers, our team facilitators, who pointed out that that's something that they will do with their clients is they will take breaks and they will encourage, doing some mat and relaxation work with their client and dog team. And I thought that was really a beautiful thing to be able to do and to build in, these kind of bio breaks where we're really focusing on relaxation, rather than focusing on, hey, we have to get through this training session and this is our goal today, right? So I think that that's where some of that flexibility comes into play. And I think that we all do much better when we're regulated, right? Than when we're not regulated too. So it's all connected. It's all very interconnected. So we have such a great group of trainers and team facilitators that have a lot of really good ideas. And I don't know if we have had any comments today, Jennifer, or if anyone has checked in at all. No, I know there was a very heavy interest in this topic, and I know that we'll probably get some comments along the way and some folks that go back and listen later on. But yeah, so just, playing with ideas around how can we make the spaces more friendly um, and safe, right? I think it comes down to feeling safe too for people.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, as you brought up the kind of slowing down, there's actually a neat, Dr. Karen overall has a neat protocol called Take a Breath, where you actually capture a dog breathing, as a part of slowing down training.
Just a moment, please. Eu preciso falar desse protocolo. Rafael.
She needs to talk about this protocol.
So I can send some information on it, but you're literally watching for when the nostrils flare and how their cheeks move, so that you can capture that calming, right? Because they have to breathe. And so when people say, well, my dog doesn't ever stop barking, well, they breathe, don't they? And so it's a kind of a mind-blowing concept to some extent, but it's also very simple in other ways. So that's something maybe we talk about more in the future, but it's it's really powerful, and it makes you as the person slow down.
It does. And in my animal assisted therapy work, one thing that we found is really regulating is just petting and massage with your dog. And some of that, I don't know if you're familiar with Tellington touch, but the T touch. And just kind of you don't have to do things to even fidelity, but just ways that you can, sort of hands-on promote some regulation, and promote that sort of mind-body connection in training sessions, I think can be helpful. And yeah, take a breath is great. I think take a breath. Um, I was able to sort of train a little bit of that with one of my dogs, and ironically, right now she's in another room and she's pretty upset with me, so she probably needs her take a breath right now. But I think that that's a really fun one that you can teach and capture. But there are all kinds of, I think, ways that we can promote relaxation and that I think thinking outside the box is the biggest thing, right? And sitting with your client and realizing, okay, what is something that clicks and what is something that is relaxing and maybe is a little bit more enjoyable and fun. And I think that's going to vary a lot from person to person. So,
Eu acho que esse é o ponto que nós temos que ver que cada pessoa e cada cão é um. Eu fiz um desafio aqui na internet, em que eu convidei colegas meus a fazerem o protocolo de relaxamento da Karen Overhaul. Rafael foi um dos que aceitaram. Para contar a história, Rafael.
You're muted, Raphael.
Rafael.
Yes, sorry guys. About this protocol, she's saying that she went to the internet and make a challenge for anyone who would like to participate, and I was one of them. And we each day we try this protocol. We try to make each steps, and I have to say I was almost drive me crazy. I couldn't go to the end. But that's why she's laughing so much. Because it makes me very nervous to count. I have a problem with counting and numbers,
uh-huh.
And I couldn't. The counting thing, it stopped making me very anxious and nervous, and then I said, "This is not working for me. I couldn't do that. I have to think about other ways." But I think the idea is great. Anyway, we have to find ways to relax, and as she said, coming back to what she said, for each individual, what works for each person, each dog.
Well,
Again,
and I think that's a really good point. I think it's so counterintuitive sometimes to how we're sort of socialized into our society is like we're supposed to always be doing and going, and sometimes it's really hard to adapt relaxation, and it takes some trial and error to figure out like, well, what is going to work for me. And I think too, just finding the space sometimes can be challenging for us, and releasing and saying, hey, it's okay to have relaxation time. And I'm kind of doing a little segue into my therapist mind here, but I think that it's such a big thing for us, and being in these societies where we're just really driven to work all the time, and how can we learn to relax more? So yeah, and I don't know if that's why the counting was obviously hard for you, Raphael, or maybe it was something else, but you're making a really good point though, is it's not always easy to try some different things, and it's okay to keep trying and to say, hey, just one thing doesn't work. Let's try something different. So.
And I think, we as dog trainers put a lot of energy into saying work with the learner in front of you, and we're often talking about the dog. And I think we can do a lot more kind of as this of recognizing we need to focus on the person And it gets interesting when you need to reflect on your own learning styles, as the trainer as well as the receiver and how to balance those. I know we don't have a ton more time. Sarah or Michelle or Adriana, are there other resources that might be good for people to look at? I did put the links to the blogs and the FaceTime page, or Facebook page, and those are in the blog. So those have a lot of good resources already.
And within those resources, Adriana's TED Talk should be in that as well on the YouTube channel. We can also drop that maybe in the on the Facebook page too, so people can just access that really easily. There's so many good things within that talk, and I'm just grateful that you were able to be here today, Adriana, and thank you, Raphael, for being here too and helping to translate. I don't know if anyone else had any last minute comments or anything they'd like to share as we're wrapping up.
Not that I see, I'm just seeing the comments I put. They're sharing information. And I'm gonna look for Adriana's.
Eu gostaria, nem que seja para finalizar ou para pensar em novas conversas, exatamente falar que nós, pessoas neurodivergentes, com deficiência, nós fazemos parte do mundo, assim como qualquer outra pessoa. Temos o direito de estar, temos o direito de viver e de nos relacionar.
To wrap up and to think about new topics to talk about, she's saying that
Nós, pessoas com
we
deficiência,
people with disabilities, with and
neurodiversos,
neurodiversion, we have the right to exist, to be as ourselves, the way we are, simple as that.
cães de assistência podem nos apoiar para que tenhamos mais autonomia.
Assistant dog, service dogs can help us, so it can support us, so we have more autonomy.
E também serem grandes companheiros.
And also be great fellas, companionship.
Mas não é toda pessoa com deficiência ou neurodiversa que deveria ter um cão de assistência.
But it's not all person that is neurodivergent or that has
Disability or
disability
neurodiversity.
that can have a service dog.
Então, para aqueles que realmente querem ter um cão de assistência, que acreditam que vai fazer diferença na vida deles, vem conversar com a gente.
So for anyone that believes that a service dog would support or help in their lives, come to talk with us.
Thank you very much for this conversation. I'm here. I love to talk with you, Chan. Thank you very much for all your support. I love Atlas, Assistance Dog. Raphael, my BFF, I love you so much, so much. Sarah, thank you very much. Michelle, it was a pleasure.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. This has been wonderful and such a rich discussion. And I feel like we could probably go for another hour if we wanted to, just to talk, but because there are so many little segues from what we talked about today. But really appreciate you both being here today. And I think we could probably go ahead and wrap up for this FaceTime Live. And thank you to our audience for listening to us today. If you have any questions as usual or need any extra support, you have us here as a team to reach out to as well for our clients and our trainers.
All right, thank you all. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.